everybody, this is Gracie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be making a sunglasses case. So let me I have a pair of glasses. They're gonna just go right in there. They fit perfectly. So let's get into the video. Alrighty everybody, so let's get started on our sunglasses case. So first off, we're going to need 2 coordinating fabrics and a coordinating thread. For this I'm using white. You will need some scissors and a skewer to poke out your corners. So out of your fabric you are going to need 2 7.5 by 4.5 pieces of each fabric. So once you have that cut out, so I already have mine cut out, so you're going to put right sides together. On this pattern it does not matter which way it's going, so we're just gonna put right sides together and put this one over to the side. And we have this one. Let's just pick this one. And this one doesn't matter either, so we're just going to put right sides together. Just like that. So I'm gonna take, I have some chalk here. I'm gonna mark which sides we need to be sewing. So you need to do both long sides and one short side. Okay, so we have one long side, 2 long sides, and a short side. So these are the markings here, here, and here. I'm gonna do that on both of them, that way I remember. So we have 1, let's see, 1, 2, and 3. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Now then, I'm going to take some clips, and you can either use clips or pins. That's up to you. I prefer clips because they don't hurt. You don't get, when you stick yourself, you're not going to stick yourself with clips, honestly. So we're going to pin those sides that we marked. Okay, we're going to clip 1 on the bottom and 2 on the sides. Put that one to the side. Do the same with these. So we're gonna clip here, here, and here. So when we sew these are, this part here is your wrong side. So when you're sewing them, you want to make sure that these are the sides that are out, that are facing you. So we're going to put this up to the sewing machine and adjust it here a little bit. Okay, on the sewing machine. It's kind of awkward here, but okay. So we have our sewing machine already threaded with white thread. So we are going to start sewing at 1/4 inch for each side. That shook the table. So we're going to put this in right here on the edge. It's kind of hard to see. So that may help. I'm not really sure. Okay, so we're going to take, and when you are taking if you're using clips, you obviously have to take them out before you start sewing. But if you are using pins, take them out before you sew over them, because it can break your needle and you would have to replace the needle. So we're going to start sewing. 1/4 of an inch on all those 3 sides that you pinned or clipped. So back stitch using your reverse stitch. Okay, and when you get down here to the bottom, roughly about 1/4 inch before you get to your bottom edge, you're going to use your hand wheel, turn the needle to where it's down in the fabric, lift up your presser foot, and turn. Put your presser foot back down and sew. Same on this next corner. Put it down, lift up your presser foot, put back down and sew. Okay, when you get to this edge over here, you're going to back stitch as well. Okay, take it out, and you're going to take your scissors and cut the threads. Do the same on your other piece, and we will come back. Okay, now we have both pieces all sewn together and everything. We are going to cut our threads up here at the top and put them in. If you have a garbage can, you can do that. I have this little dish here that I'm just gonna put those threads in. So we're gonna cut your threads. Okay. And there we go. Now, you have to decide which piece you are going to use for your lining. I have chosen this piece to use as my lining. So we're going to turn this lining piece inside out so that the brighter side is facing, so you can see the difference between this one. This side you want facing out. This side needs to stay on the inside. So you want your seams, which is where you just sewed, you want those on the inside. We're going to use our skewer and take the rounded edge here with the flat. You're going to take this piece and poke inside of it so that you can get your corners all cornered up. So we're going to take and go each corner just like this, so that when you have it all turned inside out and everything, there is a thread, that it is nice and cornered and all that. Now I would like you to iron this inside piece flat before we continue on to the next part. So let me go do that real quick and then we'll come back. Alrighty, now we have this flat. We are going to take our opening in our outside piece, the one that we want to use for this part. This here is the lining, which I'm going to use this one for the lining, and then this one here is, which, did I have a second one? Which is this really pretty butterfly. This is going to be as this part for the outside. So you're going to want to take, I'm going to have to, do this up. Okay. You're going to want to take this part here for your outside. You're going to want to take this, open it up. You're going to leave it where the inside stays inside. You're going to have your wrong sides facing out. And you're going to take your lining piece and kind of wedge it in there. You have to work around with it, but get that in there all the way to where the top of your lining piece is at the top of your outside piece. It's lining up with your outside piece. So, it's a little tricky. I had the other one in there, but the other one worked. There we go. Just kind of shake it in there, like a pillowcase. Okay, so now we have our inside in here. We can see the inside right here. We're going to start with the corners. You're going to open it up to where you have a hole there. Line up the corners, your edges, edge to edge. You're going to hold it down here, and we're going to take a couple of clips and clip it just like that so that it stays in place so we can sew it. So you're going to do the same with the middle of one side. Make sure that it stays open so that you have a hole in here. Then we're going to do the same on this other seam. Oh no, I lost my clip. So here we go. So you're going to only clip one side of your pouch. You're going to leave the other side unclipped. So you will not have a clip in the middle of this side. So we're going to take it back over to the sewing machine. And I'm going to mark on here, that way it's a little easier, where you want to stitch it at. So your start one line and your stop at another line. So let's see, can we zoom this in or no? So I'm just going to pull it back down. Oh no. Sorry guys, the video cut out on me. So you have your two marks right here. This is going to be where you start, and this is going to be where you stop. So we're going to take it over to the sewing machine. Let's fix it up. Okay. Take it over to our sewing machine. Okay. This is the tricky part in sewing it. You're going to want to make sure when you put it in here that you do not catch the other side of your fabric. So you want to have this underneath still come out. So you're not going to sew it. Take your clip out. At your start line, you're going to sew it 1/4 inch around until you go to your stop line that you made. Oh no. Got it stuck. So we're going to start sewing it. So 1/4 inch all the way around till you come back to your stop mark. Back stitch as well. Did I actually stitch it? Oh man. Okay, see what happens when you actually when it catches, it closes it up. So I'm gonna seam rip it out and we'll come back to the sewing machine and finish it. I got it seam ripped, so we're going to do take 2 of this. Hopefully it does not get stuck. I am really hoping it does not get stuck. And okay. Oh, this is really tricky. Back stitch on both sides. Okay. Good. Whew, that's a lot. So now we're going to take it back over here. And we're going to cut our threads, cut all of our threads. Okay. Cut all of our threads. And for me, where I stopped and started back again, because it didn't want to work that first time. And it probably did not catch there either. That's okay. So, when I am finished cutting all these threads, through that hole that we left open and did not sew, you're going to turn it inside out, and then we'll poke it through and stitch up the top. Oh, I got a lot of threads all over the place. Okay, so through this hole that we did not stitch over, open it up, and through that hole you're going to turn the whole thing right side out. And it's kind of tricky because it's such a small hole, but it'll work. Okay, now then we have 2 separate pieces. Here we go. Both which are right side out. Yay, I did it correctly this time. Okay, through that hole which we made, we're going to come inside, make sure we re-poke these corners in this lining piece. Come back around our outside piece. We're going to poke corners out, possibly. Okay. Now then, I am going to go iron this real quick and I will be right back. Okay, we are back from ironing. So I'm gonna re-poke out this one corner because it did not get poked out all the way. Okay, next step. We're not gonna do anything through this hole anymore. Leave that hole alone. We're going to pull apart so we're gonna have them pulled apart. That way we can put them together. So you're gonna kind of do this. Take at each seam and hold it. So each seam, which is right here, hold it right here on both sides. If I can get this other side to cooperate. Okay, now we have both seams. I'm going to just kind of take our fingers and just, oh wait, no, haha, other way. Sorry, I forgot which one was going to be on the inside. Make sure you're doing this correctly because I'm not, apparently. Okay, grab a hold. This is my struggle with doing small projects. So then now you're gonna do this with the correct side. Kind of just fold in. Okay, I'm gonna make this go up more. Okay, so now we have the outside lining, or the outside fabric is on the outside. We have the inside on the inside. We're gonna now take your skewer and go on the inside of the bag and just make sure the lining corners meet this corner, each corner on the outside of the bag. And then we will go from here. Okay, it's working, just very slowly. All right, here we go. So once you have it all poked in and everything, I would go iron it real quick, and then we can sew around the top. So I'm gonna go to the ironing board and I will be right back. Alrighty, so it is all iron. We are going to make sure that this hole here stays closed. So we're going to take 2 pins or 2 clips and just go and clip those 2 right there. You're gonna go to your sewing machine, which is gonna have to be lowered by a lot. Ow. Okay, back to your sewing machine. We are gonna start at a seam. Okay, so we're gonna take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch on this one, so which is usually the edge of your foot. Going to start sewing and backstitch as well. Take your pins out, clips out, whatever you use. Chaos. It's okay. Okay, we're going to finish sewing this all the way around. Alrighty. So now we're going to cut our threads, and we can close the sewing machine down. We are done with it. You are just gonna cut your threads on this, and then you're done. So that is our easy peasy beginners sunglasses case. There we go. And this can fit, so these are my sister's glasses, her regular glasses. Look how easy. You slide in there and it gives them so much room so that they're not sitting snug in there. Thank you guys for watching today's video and bearing with me as I have had a day with this video. Stay tuned for next week's video. I think I have planned a tote bag, a fat quarter tote bag. So I will put the requirements for that video in the description. And if you guys can just let me know in the comments how I'm doing with these videos and what I can improve on, all that good fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for next week's video. Bye!